Hey guys, what's going on? August Young here. Going to do a full rundown of all 10 NBA games here, Wednesday, October 23rd. I'm going to be doing these NBA videos every single day. Going to give you guys free picks on every single game on the board. So let's dive in without further delay. So we're going to look at the Indiana Pacers and the Detroit Pistons first. So we've got the Pacers laying 4.5 here. The total at 234. It's a high total for an opening game, but it does make sense. Indiana, they're not a team that had any interest in playing defense last season. I believe they ranked 24th in adjusted defensive rating. Detroit actually ranked worse than that. I think they were 25th. Pacers, extremely talented offense. They will push a pace, obviously led by Tyrese Halliburton. He averaged a double-double last season, Tyrese Halliburton, 20.1 points per game and 10.9 assists. The issue I have with this Indiana team is their ability to cover numbers. That poor defense makes that difficult. For example, last season, they were actually 61% against the spread as underdogs, 50% as favorites though, and that fell to 43% as visiting favorites. No wonder this line opened 6 and has been bet down to the current market price of 4.5. Now, the Pistons don't have much. They have a gamer, young team. They're going to give effort here. The issue for them is down the stretch. Even if it is a close game, they're just starved of veteran players to pull out wins. Going to lean with Indiana here at -4.5, but not a strong lean by any means. Going to move on to the next game, Brooklyn Nets at the Atlanta Hawks. You have the Hawks laying 6.5 or 7, depending on where you look. The total at 223. Seems like a high number for a team, 6.5, 7, that were a complete mess last season in terms of consistency. You know, you look at the Hawks, they were 29 and 54 last season against the spread. That's like 35%. However, they do get a break here opening night versus a really bad home, at home against a really bad team in the Nets. I like Cam Thomas offensively, but this team doesn't bring much else. Ben Simmons is back in the mix. And so what? I don't really rate the guy much. Tough spot. Take Atlanta -6.5. Now, Orlando Magic, Miami Heat. Heat laying 2 points total, sitting at 208. Fun battle of Florida to open the season for these two teams. I think the Magic, they've got some good pieces, development this season that should pay off. I think they're better than the market is going to give them credit for this season, especially when looking at season win total. I like KCP, the dynamics with Franz Wagner brings as well. Not sure this team can do enough offensively, though, especially against one of the better defensive teams in the league. The Heat actually ranked 5th last season in adjusted defensive rating. Now, although Jimmy and Bam are nightmare matchups for most teams, they do lack depth as a whole. Still think that they're the side here at -2, though, or if you can get a money line at -125 or less. Going to move on to the Milwaukee Bucks and the Philadelphia 76ers. Philly getting 3.5 points at home. Total is at 224. I actually agreed with the opener here a little more, which was fine with me until the news of Embiid and George broke. Both guys out, currently due to rest. I mean, Embiid has obviously said he won't play in many, if any, back-to-backs this season. I can't believe these players sometimes. Embiid is a complete diva. And the fact that this team and league support and allow it is completely beyond me. I don't know if you guys saw Kevin Garnett was talking on it, and you could just see how irate he was. He comes from that OG game, right? And me too. I love the NBA back in the 80s, 90s, and it's a shame to see. But anyway, moving on, Middleton. He'll be out as well for this one. Very important to keep an eye on the injury status of Giannis. He's dealing with a knee issue, but is currently listed as probable. Now, if Giannis plays, then I'm happy to lay the 3.5 with the Bucks, but I will be keeping an eye on that. Let's move on to Cleveland Cavaliers at Toronto Raptors. Cleveland laying 6.5 on the road here. The total at 224.5. The issue here, Toronto are dealing with injury concerns right out of the gate. They're going to be without RJ Barrett as well. Big miss. Speaking of injuries, the Cavs, they're going to be without Max Strus, also dealing with an ankle concern. Strus obviously extends the court for them with his outside shooting. I don't really have a good feel for this. I probably lean with the dog at +6.5 though, based on some solid opening game underdog trends that have been winning season after season, but that's about it. Charlotte Hornets at Houston Rockets. Have the Rockets laying 7, total of 229. The Rockets have potential. Depends on the consistency we're going to see from Jalen Green. These guys are live to make a push toward the postseason, in my opinion. Time will tell. We do have some concerns, though, that they can generate enough offense. That likely won't be a problem here, though, against the Charlotte Hornets, who, as a whole, just don't play defense. They ranked 2nd worst last season in adjusted defensive rating. I really don't like their team as a whole anyway. Guys like LaMelo just play street ball with a ton of talent. He has no interest in actually doing what it takes to win games outside of looking good. I think the spread's about right. There's some value on the over. Small value there. We're going to take the over, but that's just based on my numbers. Chicago Bulls at the New Orleans Pelicans. Pels laying 6.5, total 226.5. Hard to make any real read on this at the time of recording. Both DeJounte Murray and Zion, they're listed as questionable with illness. Bulls are healthy, but don't offer much this season, really. They got some talent, but not really anyone who could lead them as a whole. Going to keep an eye on the stats of both Murray and Zion. If they play, would look to grab a 6.5 before the line moves. Memphis Grizzlies at the Utah Jazz. Now, I will have a premium selection on this game, my first one of the season. However, it is important to note, there is a free $60 account available to all who are not already clients of Doc Sports. The link to access that is in the description below. And if you use that free $60, you can get my premium NBA picks for free, including this one. No obligation, just by clicking that link. And for what it's worth, I'm coming off back-to-back winning NBA seasons for almost $8,000 in profit, expecting great results again this season. So be sure to check me out. Going to move on to the Phoenix Suns at the Los Angeles Clippers. The Suns laying about 5 on the road, total 224. Now, Clippers are an extremely talented team when healthy. However, that is obviously a problem for them, always seems to be. They're going to be without PJ Tucker, Bamba, and of course Kawhi here, which is huge. When you look at the on and off stats for the Clips without Kawhi, it's unbelievable just how important he is to their success. I mean, we all know how good he is, but when you actually look at the metrics, it is an incredible. It's night and day. As for the Suns, I like what they bring with Mike Budenholzer and his systematic approach to the offense. I think their offense is going to be impressive this season. They ranked 8th last season in adjusted offensive rating. Could see them easily inside the top 5 this season. The Clippers had some defensive issues last season as well, and that will be magnified here without Kawhi. I do believe there is value on the Suns at -4.5, which is available if you shop around. I'm going to get to the last game here for Wednesday. Golden State Warriors at the Portland Trail Blazers. Warriors laying 6 with a total of 222.5. Really interesting game for me. On one hand, you have the Golden State Warriors, who possess extreme experience with the likes of Steph, Draymond, and obviously head coach Steve Kerr. They'll obviously no longer have Klay Thompson, though. We have concerns about their options on offense outside of Steph. I'm not really sure who their main second option is going to be. Then you have the Blazers, who are the exact opposite, full of young players, including Anthony Simmons, who I got to be honest, he is an absolute bucket getter. I love how that guy plays. And obviously Scoot Henderson, only 20 years old. Golden State, though, they went 65% against the spread on the road last season and 68% as favorites on the road. Likely overvalued here, probably. I kind of hate it, but my numbers do like Portland a little bit at +6. That would be the free play there. As I mentioned, guys, do have my premium selection on the game. Memphis Grizzlies, Utah Jazz, so be sure to check that out. Apart from that, thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with the next NBA rundown. This is August Young at DocSports.com. Remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Comment your thoughts down below. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.